crafting journey here. That journey chick on Instagram. Welcome. It's Friday. Friday dance. Friday dance. Payday. Friday. Yes. It's been one heck of a week. But I've been sleeping good because of the AC. I'm like, well, you take that air conditioner for granted. You really do. Because when you don't have it, you're like, oh, can't breathe. But when you have it, you're like, oh, oh. Anyway, peanut butter coffee today. Yum, my favorite. Hey guys, if my hair, because I washed it, you know. Anyway, hey guys, if you're new to the channel, thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing. If you're a new subscriber, thank you, thank you, thank you. And don't forget to hit the like button and take it out for its favorite flavor of ice cream. And then at the last minute, replace it with yogurt. Oh, won't they be disappointed? Anyway, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I do upload daily and go live twice a week. Speaking of live, this Sunday, we're gonna have a special guest. Kim's Crafty Craziness is gonna join us. So that'll be at 11 Central on Sunday. So I'm gonna just quickly write down, oh, I never used this pen before. You know, it has that little rubber thing on the end. Okay, I digress. Yes, I know that. I say that a lot. I'm sorry. Here we go. We're going to write this in. Oh, this is a pretty color. And then what was the... Oh, I know what it is. National Share Ideas Day. I have an idea. Let's not have to go to work. Yep. Nope. So when did I go swimming this week? I went on, what day was that? Tuesday I swam. So I got to get there again. I didn't go yesterday. All right, so we got to get there today. Swim. I'm gonna write it down. You know, so now it's in cement. Write it down. Look, there's the money sign for payday. Yep. So don't forget, on Sundays I host a Zoom. I call it the afternoon tea party, you know, because I'm doing the year of Alice and, you know, blah blah blah. But what we do in this tea party is, of course, we're all there to chit-chat and catch up with each other and share our ideas. But we also try to prepare our planners for the following week. It comes totally blank and we decorate it. We get out the washi tape and the stickers, and you know, some of us do themes and some of us just throw it in random willy-nilly, which is kind of what I do anyway. And you can I replace the headers with what I want, or I just put something over them and then I write whatever I want there. So that is my planning. Yeah. It is National Share Ideas Day. Let's pull it up. Okay, I was wrong. It is Swap Ideas Day. So share, swap, you know, whatever. Get into a social group. Yesterday, I joined a Facebook group that is all about the planners. Lots of enabling going on in this group, but also it's there for sharing ideas. Like, for example, my idea, and I don't know who shared it with me, but I don't think it was my idea. I think someone shared it with me, was to get out the planner each day during the show and write in it. And it's really helping me get used to using the planner, relying on the planner. Somebody asked me the other day, what are you doing on such and such a day? I looked in the planner. To make sure that I was not otherwise engaged on that day. So, yeah. So here's what you do today. Get into a Facebook Messenger group, go into Facebook group, you know, or get with some friends or your family and just swap ideas. Like if there's an issue going on, you're like, how can we resolve this? Let's come up with some ideas. And once you start brainstorming with each other, all of a sudden these great ideas come out of your head or somebody else's head, and you build upon them. And then next thing you know, voila, you have a way to resolve the issue or the problem, or, you know, do something better than you did it before. So I have an idea brewing in my head this morning, and I did a little research on it, but I'm not going to say what it is. Yeah, I'm going to keep it to myself for now. I have a really cool idea, but I want to brainstorm it with some other people, see how they think I can accomplish this, and we'll see. Yeah. Brainstorm with people like my sister. Oh my God. I was having such a day yesterday, and boy, she sat me down last night and was, and I was like, ooh, sorry. Yeah. Sometimes you need that, right? Okay. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. Why don't you go lay down? Uh-oh, yarn. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, 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 no. What happened here? Oh, my God. Oh, the yarn is flowing. Oh, my God, these cats. Nothing is safe. All right, guys. Knock it off. Oh, my God. The other day, I looked behind me, and they had taken all of this yarn off the shelf. Here's my wind spinner. I did finish. All right, I guess I'm taking it down. I have to sew in the ends, and then I need to add the spider. I gotta make the spider that goes down here. But I think it turned out pretty cool. Look at that. It looks like a lei when you do it this way, right? Anyway, that's the wind spinner. It was a fun little project. If you want to know how to make it, check out my video. I'll put a link here. That's from Craft With Me Wednesday, and I do give the instructions during the video. All you have to do is know how to single crochet and double crochet. You guys let me know if these cats start pulling down yarn again, because I'm going to strangle one of them. Crafting and Crime. This is a section of the show where I talk about crime, true crime trials. So there are 3 trials going on that I'm kind of following. So last night I tuned into the Robert Durst trial because I'm like, 58 days, what is going on? I kept looking to see, oh, is the jury out? Is the jury out? I thought the jury was out. Typically, when you do a closing argument, and these closing arguments started on Wednesday, typically the judge will say to the attorneys, how long do you need for your closing argument? And if you say 2 hours, you are like pushing your limits, like, ooh, pushing your limits. The judge will be like, really, you need 2 hours? Well, you can split that between your opening and your rebuttal. And if a defense attorneys do not take 2 hours, no. So I tuned in yesterday, and the prosecution was still closing. 2 days to do a closing argument. 2 full days. I'm like, what in the world? So like 8 hours worth of closing arguments, because you know they break it up with breaks and arguments and clear. So when I tuned in yesterday, the prosecution was wrapping up his closing arguments in this Durst case. And Robert Durst is on trial for killing a friend of his who likely found out that he had murdered his wife, which he also got away with. And I have to make a correction from yesterday. Apparently he was not convicted of killing this other man, but he was convicted of, I don't know what they call it, maiming the body. Yeah. They couldn't get him for the actual killing, but for the slicing up of the body, he's been convicted for. It's very strange. Strange jury verdict. Sounded like a compromise to me. Anyway, so I tuned into this Durst trial, and prosecution ends its argument. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to listen, and it's going to go out to the jury. So the judge tells the jury, well, you know, we're dark on Friday. So apparently they don't have court on Fridays in this case, which is why it's lasted for 3 months. And then he says, come back on Monday and we'll start the defense closing argument of so-and-so. So apparently there's more than one defense attorney. I'm not sure why that is, because I didn't follow the entire case. And then we're going to hear from so-and-so's argument. And I'm like, oh my God, really? And then he says, I think you'll get this case on Wednesday. I'm like, oh my God, these poor jurors. It has to be pure torture on that part. They will probably never want to sit on a jury again. I'd be curious if someone would interview one of these jurors afterwards and get their thoughts on this trial. I would just be really curious about what they thought. Just absolute torture. So after the jury leaves in this case, the prosecuting attorney gets up and he's yelling and carrying on, and the judge finally has to tell him, sit down and shut up. So yeah, he's like, you need to calm yourself down. I'm not disagreeing with your argument. They were arguing about some improper thing that this guy had done in his argument and how improper it was, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Yeah, so I'm kind of sorry I didn't follow it, but it would have been torture for me too, 3 months on the same trial. Anyway, back to the other cases. So another case that is going on is the Elizabeth Holmes case. Now, apparently that case was dark yesterday too. They had no court. They came in on Wednesday, did the opening arguments, and then they were off Tuesday or Thursday. I'm not sure what's with all these days that they're dark, but yeah, they were off Thursday, so there was no trial Thursday. In any case, I expect there's going to be trial today. They'll start the evidence. With Holmes, she starts this company when she's 19 years old, Theranos, after 2 semesters at Stanford University. She takes these 2 classes in chemical, whatever, classes, I assure you, I never took. She decides she's going to start this company. She starts getting investors, and she comes up with this little itty bitty Theranos it was a way to draw labs that just involved a pinprick, went into this teeny tiny vial, and then you would literally put it into this little black box, and it would come out with all these test results. Well, according to people that worked in this lab, these black boxes never worked, and they came out with such erroneous test results, you couldn't use them. So what was actually happening is they had the real equipment hidden in the back of the lab. It wasn't what she showed investors as she would bring them through. She would show them these little black boxes and look how wonderful this works. But she was actually having these lab techs in the back running tests on regular equipment to get these results. Yeah, so she was very charismatic. She would dress up like Steve Jobs with the black, turtleneck. She lowered her voice so she would talk like this. I don't know why. It was weird. I'm sure there's people going to testify that wasn't her real voice. And she got millions. They had her as the first self-made billionaire in this country. And wow, so that's what this trial is about. So she's been charged with frauding her investors of millions and millions of dollars, billions of dollars, on something that never worked. It never worked. Yeah. She has a co-defendant. Now, I say co-defendant, but they're having separate trials. Someone that she committed these crimes with, he was her boyfriend at the time. She's now married to someone else, and she's pregnant, or she just had a baby. I'm not sure which it is. Anyway, So this other guy who used to be her boyfriend was in on all of this with her. He's being tried in a separate case in January, and apparently their defenses are going to blame each other. So more to come on that trial. So now we get to, is this like the totally wrong notebook? No, it isn't. Okay, I thought I had the wrong notebook. So yesterday in the trial of Stanley Ford, now one subscriber asked me some questions like, how come, some procedural questions. So just procedurally, in some courts, you will not hear the attorneys say, you know, at this time I'd like to enter this into evidence. Some of the evidence, some courts will have all that evidence pre-marked and pre-entered into evidence before the trial starts. That way they can get all the objections out of the way, and it really kind of helps the case flow more fully. Like, you don't have to stop, have these arguments, you know, send the jury out, have these arguments, and then make her ruling. So that's all done ahead of time. So what you'll hear in the Stanley Ford case is they will refer to evidence numbers. You know, at this time I'm looking at, you know, evidence that's been marked as number 85. And then what they'll say is, at this time I'd like to enter it into evidence, but they don't have to do that in this case because they've already done it beforehand. But then they can skip that question and go on, Your Honor, may I publish this to the jury? And that means, can I show it to the jury? Pictures, video, that kind of thing. So that's just a little procedural stuff that you might not know. Okay, so yesterday, the cross-examination of the forensic analyst takes place, and it didn't take very long. The defense attorney, he gets up and he was trying to suggest that because the video that he was working with to make that timeline video was like a copy of a copy, that it wasn't accurate, that what you were seeing didn't really happen. I don't know. And the guy says, no, I really find copies to be fairly, you know, they're depicting what they depict. I don't, you know, it might be grainier, but you're still seeing the same thing. So he didn't fall for that. And that once he didn't fall for that, I think he just wanted, the defense attorney just wanted to plant this idea in the heads of the jury, or the minds of the jury, that, you know, maybe what they were seeing was not really what they were seeing. I mean, we clearly saw some individual lighting this fire. So then we get, they put an RN, a registered nurse. She works at the Cleveland Clinic, on the stand. And I'm thinking, oh, what's she going to testify to? This is going to be interesting. This is actually a really interesting witness. We don't get to see her because apparently each witness is asked, do they want to appear on camera? And they can sign a release if they do. If they don't, they're not filmed. So she was not filmed. Well, here's why. Because she had only been a registered nurse for about a year. And prior to that, she was a retired police detective for over 25 years. So she was the lead detective on this fire, and very well spoken. However, she really could talk the language of these people. She understood them. I didn't get to see her, but I assumed that she also a black female, but she could commiserate with them and laugh with them and joke with them. You know, like I said, this is kind of a small area and everybody knows everybody. She probably knew some of these individuals. Anyway, she developed lists of suspects in this first fire, to include Francine Lewis, who was the ex-wife of Linnell Lewis, who perished in the house. She was one of the suspects. At the time, she was, they were officially divorced, and she was living with someone else. And of course, we know Linnell was living somewhere else. Another one of her suspects was this Ronald Garrett, who also lived in the basement with Mr. Hughley, was not home at the time of the fire. In fact, in the video, the timeline video that we were watching, you actually see him leave the residence. You see a car pull up, back in, he gets in that car and he leaves. So he wasn't there, but still a suspect. Then you have the guy named Macklemore that you heard previous testimony about. This guy named Macklemore. Thomas Hughley testified that this Macklemore guy, who apparently used to live with Linnell Lewis, rent a room there. Linnell owed him some money, and there was a lot of angst over this money that he owed them, and him and Linnell using his SSI card and taking money off of it. So she was aware that Macklemore had lit Linnell Lewis's truck on fire and destroyed it a few years back. So Macklemore was a suspect. And of course, Stanley Ford was a suspect. And we hear an audio of the interview she did with Stanley Ford while all the emergency vehicles are on the scene. She knocks on his door. Okay. Hello, Mr. Ford. He comes to the door. He opens the door. Now, he doesn't invite her in the house, nor will he come out of the house. He just stands in the doorway for this interview. And she's talking to him and chit-chatting, and they're getting along. He will not come out of the house. And she had another detective with her, and he says, hey, you're acting really nervous. Why are you nervous? And he's like, oh, I'm not nervous. I didn't do it. So I think he does protest too much. Yeah. So she talks to him for a while, and he's, I was home, and I stayed away from those guys. They had prostitutes coming in and out. It was very difficult to hear this interview because of those emergency vehicles running in the background. It was really hard to hear. I made out very little of what was going on in this interview. So later on, we get to hear a telephone interview where she had called him and he returned her call. Stanley Ford returned her call. And again, he's denying any involvement. I was at home. I don't know anything that was going on. And it really wasn't until the second fire that she starts, she starts comparing notes with the lead detective in the second fire. That's when they start piecing everything together, and they figure out that Stanley Ford is the main suspect. For years, for that whole year between the fires, she's working on these different suspects. Some were not cleared to her satisfaction. She did not really believe Ronald Garrett's story that he had gone to a friend's, or relative's house. She said at the time this second fire occurred, he was still a suspect. She still had all these suspects, but once this second fire occurred, and they started comparing notes, that's when the lights went off, and she's like, this is Stanley Ford. Because there were so many similarities to this in the second fire, which I think we're going to start now getting into the second fire. On cross-examination, she did agree with the defense attorney that, there was some, a lot of hanging out on the porch. He wanted her to agree that there was a lot of nefarious stuff going on at that house, and she said no. They hung out on the porch. She goes, what I will give you is that there were people in this house that were drug users. Yes, and we know that Hughley used cocaine, and we know that. So she also admits that when she watched the video originally, she did not appreciate the significance of there being motion in the driveway of Stanley Ford's house and the lights going on and off in Stanley Ford's house after these attempts to light the fire at Linnell Lewis's house. Not until this second fire occurs and she goes back and watches that video again does she really appreciate what's going on it was at this second address, 1374. It's not the house that Stanley Ford lived in. He actually lived at 1370. But at 1374 is where we see the lights going on and off and an individual in the driveway. But now we know that house was owned by Stanley Ford, and that's where the alarm company had their alarm. So really interesting testimony. So I'm a little behind. I didn't catch the late afternoon session of the trial, but I will watch it today at work, and you will get a Saturday edition of Corrupting in Crime. Yep. Okay. I'm so glad it's the weekend, and people are getting their Monster Mash paintings. They're unboxing them. I'm so excited to start this event. Let me tell you just a little bit about the event. You can participate in this event along with all the other events. If you started something for drills and chills, and you don't even have to be doing the Monster Mash canvas, just any Halloween or fall canvas, take a picture of it. It doesn't have to be the beginning photo, you know, where you kitted it up. If you have that, put that in there. But post a picture of your canvas to DP Monster Mash, hashtag DP Monster Mash on Instagram. At some point during the event, we're going to be drawing for prizes. There's going to be prizes, one of which is a $25 gift card from Diamond Painting Drills. Also, during the event, there'll be a 10% discount code for Diamond Painting Drills. I'm an affiliate. The link is down in the description if you want to go check out what they have. Glow-in-the-dark, color glow-in-the-dark crystals. Oh my word, they're gorgeous. So, I have not diamond painted one single drill during this whole show. I completely forgot about diamond painting. Anyway, I did work on this last night. I did some of her dress. You see the gray in her dress right here. And it goes up the edge here. And now I'm going to fill in the white of her dress. Yeah, really pretty. So last night I did some of this, and then I did some cross stitch. I probably cross stitched for probably an hour and a half, 2 hours while I watched Big Brother. I'm all caught up on Big Brother. No spoilers, but I will tell you there's only 3 weeks left in the show. They're down to 7 people, and if you're not caught up and you get to the point where you are caught up, you're going to go, what? Yeah. Yeah. I love that show. And I've been watching this other show that was suggested to me by Trevor. It's a makeup show. And he said, go back to season 1, because I think they're in season 3. So I started at season 1. And these makeup artists, they call them MUAs, makeup artists. They go and they do this incredible makeup, sometimes with prosthetics, sometimes not. Like, not just eyeshadow and eyeliner and lipstick and, you know, they do like makeup. Incredible stuff. And they have these little challenges, and it's the way Trevor described it. He's like, it's like the Bake Off, except it's with makeup. Like, okay, I like reality shows. I'll watch it. But these makeup artists, they are some strange characters. I will tell you that. Yes, they are. All right, let's drop a few drills, or it wouldn't be a crafting show if I didn't put some drills down. My goodness, what am I thinking? All right, we'll just put some drills down. So I do not have any specific plans for this weekend. Gosh, I haven't even thought about it. I mean, ideally, I would like to go to the gym and swim today and then swim again on Sunday sometime. But I think I just want to hang out here and do some crafting. I really, you know, the crafting retreat is coming up in less than a month. I need to get my stuff together. I ordered a couple of baskets because I need to put, we're doing what we call a blessing basket exchange, where we're going to put, each month the organizer of this retreat would tell us what to put in the basket. Like the first month it was a Christmas ornament. I think the next month it was some kind of a coffee mug. So there's a few things I'm missing. So I'm going to put all that into a basket, and then we take it to the retreat and we exchange them. The other thing I'm doing as a sponsor of this crafting retreat is I'm putting together a gift basket for a raffle. So I ordered the baskets for those two things. I have the items that are going to go into the gift basket. It's going to include like new looms, punch needle sets, cross stitch sets, yarn. It's going to be a pretty incredible basket. So I'm putting that together. So I might work on that this weekend, get that out of the way. There's still some things I need to purchase for the blessing basket, the one that we're going to exchange. I didn't get a coffee mug, and there's this really cool coffee house downtown that sells these really cool mugs. I might jump over by there. And maybe I'll jump into a Zoom. I haven't been into a Zoom since, gosh, almost a week. I just been so hot in this house. It's like you can't even think in the heat sometimes. And I was so irritable that, you don't even want to be around people. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So what happened on this day in history it was long ago and far away. Oh my goodness. Live now. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning. My word, they're starting trial early today. Okay, well, at least they're doing the trial on Friday. So, okay, on this day in history, in 1897, a 25-year-old London taxi driver runs into a building. So, he is arrested for drunk driving. This apparently was the first arrest ever for drunk driving, because it really wasn't illegal. There were no laws against it, but shortly thereafter, there did become some laws. In 1910, New York passed a law that it was against, you could not drive under the influence. So it wasn't long after that laws were passed against drunk driving. So today we know that, you fast forward, it's quite illegal to drive drunk. Some drunk drivers even have to breathe into this machine before their car will start. And if it comes back with alcohol, they don't get to go anywhere. Can you imagine that? So that is what day it is in history. The first drunk driver. I guess somebody has to be the first, right? And he was. I'm going to checkerboard this. I like to checkerboard. It's kind of fun. Just, for the heck of it. It's still going to be a lot of gapping in these drills. So last night, Craftably was releasing new pre-orders. I think what happened is they got some stuff back in stock, and they said they had a couple of new ones. Honestly, I didn't see anything new, but I don't go on that site. I'm not that familiar with their inventory. And I went on the site actually kind of looking for Mickey Sunshine's mystery diamond painting, because I'm buying for her, and I did not see anything that moved me. I will tell you though that, guys, they have different colored tubes now. Now you can see my dragon, or my dinosaur over here. He's got a purple tube. Well, now they have pink and blue. I have got to get my hands on one of those pink tubes. And that's what I was thinking last night. There's got to be something I like. There was nothing that said, oh, you gotta order this so you can get the pink tube. Nope. So I didn't order it. No pink tube for me. Oh, well. Yep. There is no pink tube in my future. Oh, maybe down the line, if they come out with something else. Now, I hope that is my garbage man that I hear rumbling out there. He didn't come last week. They said because of Labor Day, which wasn't until Monday. So why wouldn't you pick up the trash on Friday? What is that about? I don't know. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Friday dance, Friday dance. All right, guys. Thank you if you watched all the way through. I really appreciate the watch time. And I hope you enjoyed the show. I enjoy bringing it to you. So I am off to work. Gotta go to work. Work, work, work. Yep, got work to do. Yes. You guys have a great day, and I will see you sometime this weekend. I will probably be tuning in tonight to Mickey Sunshine's live. She's my bestie. Love you, girl, Mickey. She'll be live at, last week I got the time wrong, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. And then right after that is DP Addiction Adventures at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. I think I got the times right this time. Yay! Anyway, check those channels out. Really, really, really good creators. I gotta tell you, love them both. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. See you this weekend, 11 Central. I'll be live. Bye.